You just have to, as you're multiplying or dividing, what you want to do first is you write down the problem, you want to factor everything in. You didn't scroll to the very end of the page. You did this. You did that. That's fine. I can show you how to do that one. That's not bad. Because what you'll do is you have to do order of operations. You'll do this one first, you'll flip it, factor and go for it, get a common denominator, put it together. That's actually a good problem. I'll do that one in a minute. All right. Don't erase it. Okay. Don't worry about it. You're not the only person that didn't go to the right. I even wrote it down there, page 579. All right, well, let's just do that one then. No, might as well. We do the other 18 that was in that group of problems that you may or may not have done. Go for it. That's the attitude. It's a bonus 18. So let's see, we have x minus 3, x plus 1, x plus 1, x squared, x plus 4, x minus 3. And we do this first, then we have to subtract 1. So let's see. So now we have x squared minus x plus 4 over x plus 4. So that's x squared minus x minus 4 over x plus 4. And the reason I did it that way is because I knew that the common denominator is going to be pretty easy. It's just going to be the x plus 4. So I just have to, and like I said before, guys, what you will screw up on these things is that when you have a negative, you're going to forget to distribute to both parts. So please, don't forget. Try to make something complicated. Okay. I do what I can. I try my best. What else? I don't know how far else you guys have gotten through any of those yet, but when it comes down to adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, is there a specific style that's still a big pain in the butt that you'd like to see extra problems of while we're here and away? So a complex fraction. All right, let's see. I don't remember. I don't think the review ones had too many complex ones in them. There's one here, but that one, I'll work. Oh, like a, so it's like. Well, that's just silly. Well, this one, I mean, if you look at it, this is about as, aside from maybe having an extra piece of a factoring thrown in there, this one isn't so bad. I can see right now that there's going to be a trick on this one. Do you see the 5 minus x? Normally we write it as x first, so that right there, I'm seeing that thinking, oh, I probably have to take out a -1 at some point in time. Just saying right now, because kind of what I'm thinking. When I'm looking at this problem here, I know that I can see that this would be -1 times x minus 5. You okay with that? The reason why I'm saying that is because here I'd have 3 and x minus 5. So sometimes you have a trick of a -1 that you can always take out. whether it's at the beginning or at the end, that does occur from time to time. It helps you to reverse the parts in the term, so that way you might be able to simplify it. I'll do the same thing up here. So my common denominator, the bottom here, is going to be negative 3. Well, I'll just say negative 1 times 3 times the x minus 5. I'll just leave it all three parts like that. So fraction on the left has the negative 1 and the x minus 5. It needs a 3. So we have 2 times 3, real tough. Try it. You know, if you unzip the calculator thingy out of the thing, you could probably do stuff. Yeah. Fraction on the right has the 3 and the x minus 5. It needs the negative 1. So now we have 4 over the negative 1, x minus 5, times negative 1, 3, x minus 5, over 5. So far, so good. And now, always makes you happy. And you get 4 times 3. Yeah. Divided by. Welcome to my brain. So go back to normal still, boring place. And you get, I know, my wife was yelling at me this morning too. Huh? Yeah. I'm gonna make that. So I like that one because it's got the extra switch in it. From time to time you see that. It's not like an overly complicated thing, but it will show up. I'm trying to think what else is there. Graphing-wise stuff, if you think about it, it's kind of like what we were doing yesterday. Can you label all your parts? Okay. Because in the grand scheme of things, if you know how to find all the parts, you're fine. Because on a final or a standardized test, you're going to always have what calculator? Graphing calculator. So at that point, there's certain things you don't need to worry about because you can press buttons. As long as you remember how to press the buttons correctly, you should be all right. Tomorrow, no. Tomorrow we'll have regular calculators and won't be. And honestly, you probably wouldn't even need a calculator as you go through some of this stuff. That's good. There's certain times. There are certain parts and certain things that after the test tomorrow, when we get to finals prep, we'll show you guys some tricks. Because there are times when you need to have this calculator, and as we get into like trick stuff later on, when we solve an equation to do a lot of stuff, it makes it life a lot easier to try to do. But there are times that I do both. Excuse me. Let's see, what else was a good one out of this bunch? Yeah. Did you have questions on the ones that you did? Which one? Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, the rest of these problems that were thrown in on this part here, these were all fairly straightforward. I don't think even the solving ones were all that bad. I think, yeah, which one would you like to do? Which one? 29? Sure. 256. So in order to solve the equation, what we want to do is we want to get rid of the fractions. This one is going to have a common denominator, or at least common denominator, I should say, or at least common multiple of the x plus 3x minus 3. When you multiply this out, that remind you that when you have the x plus 3x minus 3, obviously that third fraction, the 3 at the very end there, I wouldn't write x plus 3x minus 3. I'm assuming most of you guys don't do that. You just write whatever the value is. So the first fraction needs an x minus 3. Middle fraction didn't need anything. And the third fraction needed the x minus 3, x plus 3. So I'm just going to write it like that. I don't have to do it that way. I just find that it's cleaner. One less step. Now I distribute my late terms and so on. So let's see, we get 4x squared minus 12x, 37 minus 3x squared plus 27. Which means I'm going to want to move everything to the right. So we get 7x squared minus 12x, and it'll be minus, what is that, 64, I believe? That's lovely. Yeah. It could be. To be honest with you, I really don't feel like multiplying 7 times 64. So I'm going to go ahead and use the quadratic formula. What's that? At least there's a. So let's see. Negative b plus or minus squared root b squared. Oops. Minus 4 a c. 2 a. So you still have to press some buttons, but it's a lot less. It's 44. It's 12 plus or minus 44 over 14. It's 44. So that's what? 56 divided by 14, or negative 32 divided by 14. So it's 4 or was that negative 8 over negative 16 over 7? There you go. And either one of those should be okay.
I did negative 64 times 7, right? And that's 448.
What times what's
16
48?
times 28.
that adds together to get 12. Well, I would still wind up having to use my calculator because I don't know my calculator. 48. I know, I'm sorry, I'm failing you miserably. So, yeah, where do you get there? 14 to 32, 16 to 28. Well, if you did 16 to 28, so you would write, it'd be 7x squared minus 28x plus 16x minus 64. Yeah, right? Take out the 7x, you have an x minus 4. Take out the 16, you have an x minus 4. You'll get there. That's just awful.
No, I think that's so much better.
No, that's fine. If you want to do that instead of using quadratic formula, absolutely. Anytime I get to numbers that just look really bad, I just say screw it for the quadratic formula. I'm sorry. For us.
For Wesley.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Oh. I apologize, even though my brain is alright, so the other thing that I wanted to look at was injury. Yeah, the final mechanism of these problems too. How far are you? I will give you answers. Don't worry, I will make a printout sheet and I'll have it on the window. Man. It'll be there eventually. Let's see. Let's see. This one. It's just your test, so all you have to do is just prepare for it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and on this finals thing, the very last two problems have to be equations. The very last two have equations. So I'm going to go ahead and look at those. I know, and then of course it's 9s and A's. I cannot make a default setting on CUDA to stop using other variables. B's and 6s, 9s and A's. I'm like, come on. Dude. Well, maybe just you, but whatever. So common denominator for the numerator is going to be 3 and the x minus 1. I'm going to use x's, okay? So fraction on the left needs a 3. Fraction on the right needs the x minus 1. So you're going to get x squared minus 2x plus 1. Do the same thing on the bottom. It's going to be a 9x. So it's going to be x squared minus 81. Bring up and flip. So let's see, we get x squared minus 2x plus 28. What times what's 28 you add together to get negative 2? A whole lot of nothing. So there's that. Well, that was anticlimactic. I can only take out a 3. Na 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 na. Yeah, for some reason they started singing 25 or 64. I don't know why.
It was a mistake.
Oh yeah, you don't want middle schoolers to try to play that song at the same time as high schoolers. High schoolers can belt that.
Yeah.
Middle schoolers can't keep up with that. They can't play that song. We did. I think we played that one too. That was a good. That was a fun one. Actually, when I was back in my day, back in my day, we didn't have these awesome thumping stereo systems for the dance teams. So the dance team had to dance to the pep band. So we would play all these different songs, and they would do all the routines to live music. It was really cool. Yeah, that's fun. I need to get in. I need to get my saxophone needs the pads and all. It needs to get replaced. It's been sitting for too long, so I need to get it fixed up. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I not to toot my own horn, but I was actually really good. Wake me up before I go. Oh yeah. Yes, Careless Whisper. Why do I know the names of the songs? But yes, Careless Whisper. Wow. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you're done. You're done here because you would wind up with 3x times the x squared minus 2x plus 28. You can multiply out the numerator, and then the denominator would just be x minus 1, x squared minus 8. You don't have to do it. Hey, what do you do on 71? Oh, I'm so scared. What are you going to do first on 71? When you go to factor that, what are you going to factor out of that first denominator to start with? Take out the -1 first, guys, and then it'll clean everything up. So if you take out a -1, you'll have x squared minus 10x plus 21. So let's see, what times what's positive 21 you add together to get 10? Take out 10 would be -7 and -3. It's okay, you can write n's and x's, it's no big deal. So we have here is a 7x, it's a 4x squared and an x 4x minus 3. And now the fun begins. So let's see, we have 4x over negative 7. Or negative 4x over 7, however you want to write it. I always loved you. What happened? Which one? It was here and here. Because they were factors of 1. First thing I did is I factored out the negative 1, and that's what gave me that's what gave me terms being. Yeah. Good morning, sunshine. What's that? Yeah, because it was 4x squared over 7x, so the one value instead of x is dropped out. Because there's a negative 1 in front. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that was just sorry. It was just it's that. So tomorrow we'll test tomorrow. I will have for you guys another one of these review packets, as well as answer sheets for both review packets, so you can have your answer sheets. And then after that, then on Thursday we start. Unfortunately, we only have a half day on Thursday. So Thursday, what we'll do, I already did this on the calendar. I don't know if you guys, how far ahead you guys go on the calendar at all. But on Thursday's calendar, I posted on there all the different chapter review things, so that way you know in the book where things were at. Physical textbook to go back and forth, at least that gets you there. The other thing I wanted to remind you of is when you are on the actual website, if you wanted to go back and figure out, I wonder what's important things we might want to go back and just revisit if need be. Well, it just so happens that throughout this entire semester, there has been this awesome list of hours upon hours of your viewing pleasure. Some of the things that I might do is I would go back and look at some of the review stuff that we do. When I record out and look at the review, it just kind of reiterates specific things in certain chapters. If you go through those chapter reviews and you recognize, hey, I don't remember how to do conic shifting, I would go, yeah. We're going to spend a lot of time on that. I think on Fridays when I'm planning on working on conics again. So we'll talk more about conics again on Friday. It's the idea of going back and spending 20 minutes and trying problems while you're doing that. So it's all there for you. Okie dokie. Super exciting. Right? Excuse me. If you need answers for this review from last night, from the one you have right now, if you need to get some answers, here's some answers. I don't think anybody cares.